Good morning and welcome back to Monte Vista Unitarian Universalist congregation on this beautiful Super Sunday. And I'm Alan Worley, President of the Board of Trustees, and first announcement is please stay after if you're here and join us for treats as we celebrate Val Pals on the patio with our children who are back. Yay. And for those of you online, you can join the party too. Our DLRE Robert has worked out something to where you just stay on our Zoom session that we're on now, and we'll have the party. One of the activities will be bingo. You can get your bingo cards online from the email announcement that was sent yesterday, and you can get a bingo card. We're not playing for prizes, we're playing for the love of the game. We don't need a winner. Please read your weekly announcements. I know they're huge, but there's a lot of good stuff in there. Please take the time to read through. And some of you may have noticed back at the end of March when we had the big wind, there was some damage to our building. We lost some roof off of this building and off of Livingston Hall. We had some roof damage, and then brush and tree branches and all kinds of stuff around here. And last Tuesday, Bruce Mount, Terry McGuire, Reverend Maggie, and of course the ubiquitous do-all Bob Taylor was here, and they cleaned. And if you walk around and take a look, our campus looks amazing. So I want to thank them for their work. Also like to thank the facilities committee, that's who did this. Bruce Mount arranged to get the roof repaired. That's being done. Finance committee found the money. It's important. And moving on to more fun stuff. There'll be a new and renew UU Zoom class starting February 20th. That since it's on Zoom, we can all participate. And I'm looking forward to that. Don't forget, Tuesdays at 7, Taco Tuesday. And now, for a quick update on our Spirit Level grant, Steve Shirley, who's kind of handling the updates on this. Thank you, Steve.
Good morning. I have an unofficial word this morning that our collection of monies for the matching fund of the Spirit Level grant is approaching 2/3. So my thermometer graphic is out of date, but pleasantly so. And thanks for all who have contributed and will continue to contribute. We don't have the cameras yet, but I do have a mounting bracket. This is the width of the cameras, and they're about so tall. So they're very minuscule. We need this bracket because the edge of the shelf up here is not quite vertical. It's tilted that way. So we need a little wedge to make sure this is perfectly level. The contributions to the Spirit Level grant are simple. Just write on the memo line of your check or with the note, if you're doing it online, that is for Spirit Level grant, and that fund will then get credit for it. My initial thought was that when we got to about half, that is about $6,200 collected, which we've already passed, we're then in a position to negotiate with a company that is actually just up the street from us called Ireland Sound. And Ireland Sound has done basically every installation for all of the Claremont colleges that involves video, sound, lights, all of the technical side of their meeting rooms of various types. So they're very experienced in video projection, and we hope that that will simplify and give a brighter, sharper image, a larger image to people in the sanctuary, and simplify our setup for every Sunday morning. So thanks for that, and we'll be in touch.
Good morning, everybody. So good to be here and to look out and see faces. Welcome, welcome. And thank you all for all that you've done to make sure that being together is safe for all of us and that we can enjoy being together without having to worry. As we open our service for our in-gathering, we sound the bowl 3 times. Once for those who came before, the Tongva peoples who were the original stewards of this land, and they called it their home long ago. We also honor our ancestors and the founding members of this congregation who imagined and planted it so long ago. We ring it once for those of us who are here now. Our members, friends, visitors, our staff, our extended UU family, all who hold, love, and grow this beloved community that we know as our own. And we ring it once for those who will come, for all who will find belonging here with us, and they'll call Monte Vista Unitarian Universalist congregation their spiritual home in the days ahead. Now I invite those of you here in the sanctuary to stand. And if you're at home and you want to stand too and sing Spirit of Life with us, let's let her rip. Thanks, everybody. And as we light our chalice this morning, I invite Dr. Aaron Quisted to come up and light our chalice. And all the children that want to participate as we do the children's version. I just want to make sure Jarius gets you guys on the camera for all of our Zoom folks that they can see We are Unitarian Universalists, and our time together in worship is a sacred time that we share, woven within the fabric of our daily lives. As a symbol of that identity and our connection, we light this chalice to remind ourselves to treat all people kindly, because they are all our siblings, to take good care of the earth, because it is our home, and to live a life full of goodness and love to become the best people we can be. Ready, guys? We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the Church of the Open Minds. This is the Church of the Loving Heart. And this is the Church of the Helping Hands.
Together we care for our earth.
To death.
And work for friendship and peace in the world.
I like that version. I got mine off the website, but I like yours.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you one thing.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thank you, guys.
May the light that we now kindle inspire us to use our powers to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, Spirit of Freedom. Now I invite everyone at home on our Zoom sanctuary and also here in Monte Vista to speak our covenant together. These words were adapted specifically for our congregation from the reading in the hymnal, number 471 by L. Griswold Williams. And Lily will put the words on the screen and we'll all say together that love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest of truth, its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve the world in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other. So normally, when we get back into a routine for our weekly worship on Sundays, it's right now that we would be singing the children out. And the children would be going off to the RE section of our property and over to have their own lessons. But today we're staying together. But in order to do that, it's been our custom to sing a song for them to go out to. Maybe to come up here and get their chalice and take it with them as they go. But we're going to learn a new song. Well, we're in search of a new song. This is one that Robert found, and he wants us all to practice it and learn it together. So Lily's going to help us learn it, and the words to it, I hope, got in here. Did they? Yeah, great. Okay, so Lily will play it through and then try to help us learn it? Yes. Thank you. But I'm glad you're not leaving. I always love these occasions when we can stay together for worship. Our offering message opens with these words from Reverend Brandick Lovely in reading number 674. He writes, "Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place, which is sacred to so many of us. This is a community of memory and hope, for we are now the keepers of that dream." And as the generous caretakers of this community, it is a part of our spiritual practice to give from our hearts to maintain its physical and spiritual well-being. So thank you, each of you, for your kind and generous donations that have been mailed in or donated online over the past few weeks while our in-person worship has been on pause. But our good stewardship reflects our rootedness in our UU faith and our growth that brings healing to one another and to the world. So I invite those of you that are here in the sanctuary today to bring forward your offerings and your non-perishable food donations for the Inland Valley Hope Partners Beta Center. But those in our Zoom sanctuary, you might find the link to donate online put into the chat box. And also, it's always possible to mail in checks, right? We always allow that. Yeah. So it is with that grateful appreciation that our offerings will now be gratefully given and received. Wow. That was church. We can all go to the party now. Thank you so much, Lily. While Lily was playing the offertory, I snuck to the back of the room in our basket where we normally collect our joys and concerns that folks have written out and would like shared with the congregation. But the basket's empty. We really do have some things we need to warm up to again, realizing that we're here in person. But we also have the opportunity for the folks in the Zoom sanctuary to bring us their joys and concerns in the chat box. So let me peek there and see if we have anything. So just, where we've been and where we are in this now moment, as Alan said, as I walked back there, he says, just being here is a joy. So, yeah. I had setting up this altar before the service, and I had asked a couple of the RE children if they would mind, with each joy or concern that's shared, if they would take a rock and drop it into the water. So the ripples of our compassion for what we're learning and for the joys that we're giving out as well, it represents that. So I'm going to drop a stone, unless you want to drop one, Riley. Would you mind? And Max, come on up. You were going to help anyway. We just don't have any participation from the crowd. The stones are in there. So let's drop one for Riley. Thank you. Drop one for the joys that are unexpressed. And Max, if you can do the sorrows that are unexpressed. Yeah, nice. Thank you very much. I have a little surprise that I went onto the website to see what kind of meditations there might be that are written specifically for younger folks in multi-gen congregations, and I found one written by, lo and behold, Sarah Gibb Millspaw, who is our regional connection for our congregation with the region. Many of you have met with her and spoken with Sarah, but her and her husband wrote this meditation, and I'd like to share it with you today. In our religious tradition, it is not just ministers or religious professionals that have the power to bless. Each of us has the power to bless another and to bless the world. Therefore, let's invite everyone here to participate in this blessing. The words are ordinary words, but we make the blessing real through our shared intention. As we have been blessed, so we bless another to be a blessing. We breathe in and out. In this breath we share with all that breathes. Feel the love of the universe flowing through this community into you and out into the universe again. Let the love of all the universe, your love, flow outward to its height, its depth, and its broad extent. You are more than you know, and more beloved than you know. Take up what power is yours to create safe haven and to make of earth a heaven. Give hope to those you encounter, that they may know safety from inner and outer harm. Be happy and at peace, healthy and strong, caring and joyful. Be the blessing that you already are. That is enough. Blessed be, and amen. We have a very special team doing our reading today. And you know what? You guys were going to stand over there, right? Not come up here in the pulpit to do the reading. You're going to go where we ask, right? You want to try coming up here? Do you mind being this close with maybe with your masks on, it'll be good. The only thing I'm concerned about is if you do it down there, the folks in the sanctuary can hear you. But I want to make sure that the Zoom people and the recording will capture your voice. Maybe the best way to do it is to use that mic, Jarius?
I guess it would be.
Yeah, can we lower that to there? Sorry, folks. One moment.
Test.
Oh, they're saying, okay, I can see Meg. I always go to Meg for my thumbs up with things. Yeah, thank you. Okay, go ahead, guys. Thank you.
Never does hatred increase by hating in return.
Only through love can hatred come to an end.
Victory breeds hatred.
The conquered dwell in sorrow and resentment.
They who give up all thought of victory or defeat
May be calm and live happily and at peace.
Let us overcome violence by gentleness.
Let us overcome evil by good.
Let us overcome the misery by liberality.
Let us overcome the liar by truth.
Living near those already born, those waiting to be born.
May all attain inward peace.
Let no one deserve another. Let no one despise another in any situation.
Let no one, from antipathy or hatred, wish evil or anyone at all.
Just as a mother with her own life protects her only child from hurt, so within yourself foster limitless concern for every living creature.
Display a heart of boundless love for all the world in all its height and depth and broad extent.
Love unrestrained, without hate or enmity.
Then as you stand or walk, sit or lie, until overcome by drowsiness, devote your mind entirely to this. It is known as living the life divine.
Thank you. Is it okay with Mom and Dad if we put that on our YouTube page? It's okay? Good, thank you. It was early 1986, and Sesame Street Live was in town, performing at the Syracuse War Memorial. Two of my sisters took our niece Alicia to see her favorite characters ice skating and singing all of the songs that she had memorized from watching her favorite PBS shows on their state-of-the-art television with a now vintage 20-inch screen. But my sisters paid for front row seats, ringside, to give Alicia the best experience, not knowing that when Big Bird skated toward the section of the arena where they were seated, Alicia would let go of an ear-piercing 4-year-old girl's scream and yell, "He's too big! Big Bird is too big!" If I remember correctly, they had to find different seats much further from the edge of the ice rink. And that niece, Alicia, is turning 40 today, so. And she still gets teased about that once in a while. Our grandson Wilder is a bit more subtle, but just as determined in the way that he insists that the 5-foot plush giraffe in the corner of his bedroom is just much too tall. He pushes it, he grabs it by the neck and knocks it over. Every time he sees it standing tall in the corner, he shows it who's boss. I even had to take the giraffe into my home for a while because he hated it so much. While we might see the reactions of both children as stereotypical for a petite baby girl who screams and a brave little boy who slays the giant, I invite you to wonder with me about the ways that you and I take action when we feel threatened by things in our lives that are just too big for our liking. In these extraordinary times, there are so many things that leave us, every one of us, a bit more anxious and afraid than we ever remember being before. We're a bit more unsettled than we have the words for. And we each move through these big challenges in unique ways. And it seems that all of us are facing things that we've never expected to meet. Whether it's Big Bird or a giraffe or a teeny little virus, doesn't matter. It's just too big. What matters is that we go through, and that we go through together, supporting, leaning on, and loving each other as we go. What is too big for one might be an easy fix for another. Our Unitarian Universalist faith is built on the edict of a freedom of belief for all. And with that freedom of religion, we find our best way through without a creed or a dogma mandating what to believe or how to be in community in a time of crisis. We have worked together to figure that out for ourselves, and here we are today. We are so fortunate to shape our days according to a faith that fits us and calls us and requires us and empowers us to do the hard work of seeking what is true and making meaning from our experience of life so that we can make a difference in the future of our world. We share a faith that is framed by our principles and our commitment to justice, peace, and love for all beings. In his book titled A Faith for All Seasons, Liberal Religion and the Crises of Life, UU minister Reverend Dr. William R. Murray opens his book with a look at the Chinese character for the word crises. Murray teaches us that the word crises is written as one word with two characters in Chinese. One character that by itself means danger, and another character that by itself means opportunity. How might we use that lens ourselves to perceive the bothness of these times that we are in now? How could we see that the crises we have already come through over the past 2 years of pandemic, and even farther back, to the things that still feel too big in our past, as both times of danger, because they were, and opportunities to awaken, because we have? How can we take the cumulative crises that we've come through and use them to grow into the congregation that we want to be and that the world needs? One way that I see is not to scream at them like my niece or to push against them like my grandson, but to see them and acknowledge that they are dangerously big, to open them and to be curious about them, despite how big they are, and to know that we are bigger, that our faith is bigger, that love is bigger. In 2017, the Irish rock band U2's lead singer, Bono, accepted a challenge to come up with one sentence that he'd want to leave his children if he was suddenly missing from their lives. What would the one thing be that he'd want his kids to always remember? He ended up writing it into a song, and his 8-word message to his children ended up to be the title. And it's my message to us today. Love is bigger than anything in its way. Former presidents, love is bigger. Climate change, love is bigger. Racism, ableism, homophobia, love is bigger. Inequality, love is bigger. Tricky, evolving, mutating viruses, love is bigger. Jealousy, rudeness, or anything that stirs up hate, love is bigger. So you name it, love is bigger. Love is bigger than anything in its way. So let's get behind it and never get in its way. Amen, and blessed be. I invite you all to stand. We've chosen for our closing hymn today, one of our favorites. We can probably sing this without the lyrics, but I invite you to read the words. Lily will have them on the screen. We're going to sing Blue Boat Home together. It's number 1064 in the Teal hymnal. Everybody. I invite Max, please, if you would come up, and Jarius will show you to the Zoom sanctuary as you extinguish the chalices. As we go our way, may we take the light of our chalice with us to remember that we are Unitarian Universalists, not just when we're here together, but every day and in every way. And my benediction for you comes from Elaine Gallagher Gurman, who writes, "Walk softly, speak truthfully, love gently, breathe deeply, live wisely, go in peace." Blessed be.